In a lush and peaceful forest, Arin, a curious little fawn, lived with his mother. Arin always loved to explore new things, but his mother reminded him to be careful and not wander too far. One day, as Arin was playing in the meadow, he spotted a beautiful butterfly. Its colorful wings sparkled in the sunlight, and Arin couldn't resist following it. Excited by the butterfly beauty, Arin began to chase it, hopping and running through the trees. He was so focused on the butterfly that he didn't notice how far he had gone from his mother. When the butterfly flew away, Arin stopped and looked around. The forest seemed unfamiliar, and his mother was nowhere to be seen. Arin realized he was lost. Just as Arin began to feel scared, he noticed a small white rabbit sitting quietly in a clearing. The rabbit's kind eyes made Arin feel a little less alone. The rabbit noticed Arin's worry and pointed towards some faint paw prints on the ground. Follow these, it seemed to say. Arin felt a spark of hope and decided to follow the trail. Arin and the rabbit walked together, following the paw prints. The forest was quiet, but Arin felt a little braver with his new friend by his side. As they walked deeper into the forest, they met a wise little owl. The owl's eyes sparkled with knowledge, and it seemed to understand Arin's situation. The owl pointed to the stars. Use them to find your way, it seemed to say. Arin looked up, feeling a little less lost and a little more hopeful. Just then, playful squirrel appeared, swinging from a branch. Its cheerful energy made Arin smile, even in the middle of his adventure. The squirrel encouraged Arin to climb the tree to get a better view. Arin hesitated but decided to give it a try, hoping it would help him find his way. From the tree, Arin could see far across the forest. The view was breathtaking, and for a moment he forgot about being lost. But as Arin continued his journey, he came across a wide river. The water looked deep and fast, and Arin wasn't sure how to cross it. Just then, Arin heard a familiar sound. It was his mother's voice, calling from the other side of the river. His heart filled with hope. Arin knew he had to be brave. He took a deep breath and stepped into the water, determined to reach his mother. Arin stepped into the river, feeling the cool water against his legs. It was deeper than he thought, but he kept going, one step at a time. The current was strong, and Arin had to fight to keep moving forward. But he remembered his mother's voice and pushed through the water. After what felt like forever, Arin made it to the other side. He was wet and tired, but he had never felt so proud of himself. Arin followed the sound of his mother's voice, running as fast as he could. He was so close now, and he couldn't wait to see her again. Finally, Arin saw his mother. She nuzzled him gently, and Arin felt safe and laughed once again. He had never been so happy to be home. Arin's mother looked at him with gentle but serious eyes. You must always be careful, my dear, she said. Arin nodded, feeling both loved and a little guilty. I'm sorry, Mom, Arin said softly. His mother nuzzled him back, her laugh stronger than any scolding. I'm just glad you are safe, she replied. Together, Arin and his mother walked back home. Arin stayed close, knowing he had learned an important lesson about staying safe. Before heading home, Arin thanked his new friend. Thank you for helping me, he said. The rabbit waved, the owl nodded, and the squirrel grinned. Anytime, little friend, they replied. Back in their meadow, Arin felt a deep sense of peace. He was home, safe and sound, with his mother by his side. It had been quite an adventure, but he was glad to be back where he belonged. As the stars twinkled above, Arin thought about his day. He had been scared, but he had also learned so much. He felt proud of himself for being brave. Arin's mother began to tell him a story Once upon a time, there was a little fawn who loved to explore. Erin listened closely, feeling safe and loved. As his mother's voice softened, Erin's eyes grew heavy. He drifted off to sleep, knowing he was safe and loved. In his dreams, Erin was back in the forest, playing with his new friends. They laughed and ran together, and Erin felt happy and free. The next morning, Erin woke up to the sound of birds chirping. He looked around and smiled. He was home, safe and sound, ready for a new day. The morning sun warmed the meadow as Erin and his mother grazed together. Erin felt grateful for the new day and the safety of his home. Arin glanced at the forest, his curiosity stirring again, but this time he knew to stay close to his mother. Adventure was exciting, but safety came first. Together, Arin and his mother stepped into the forest. Arin felt a thrill of excitement, but this time he knew he wasn't alone. Arin's friends were delighted to see him again. "You are back," they cheered. Arin smiled, happy to introduce them to his mother. Arin's mother smiled at his new friends. "Thank you for helping my little one," she said. Arin felt proud, knowing he had learned an important lesson about bravery and friendship. The afternoon was peaceful, and Arin enjoyed spending time with his mother and friends. He felt grateful for the lessons he had learned and the bonds he had formed. The forest came alive with laughter and joy as Arin and his friends celebrated their friendship. It was a day to remember, full of happiness and fun. As the sun set, Arin and his mother returned to their meadow. The sky was beautiful, and Arin felt a deep sense of peace and belonging. Under the starry sky, Arin felt small but safe. His mother's presence reminded him that no matter where he went, he would always have a home. The next morning, Arin woke up feeling refreshed and ready for a new day. He knew that with his mother by his side, he could face any adventure that came his way.